Hello and welcome to Top of the World. If it's your first time, I'm Simon, and as always, we're coming to you from the Arctic. It's currently 5 AM, it's snowing, it's 21 degrees below freezing, and we're due to head south. How much can you see? Well, that's my blower going flat out, that is. So if you get asked what's it like driving in an Arctic region at minus 21 in a transit van, well there's your answer. And that's with the blower on screen going flat out. Can you see out of the mirrors? No. Windows? No. Windscreen? Well, just about. That's it. That's all the view you get. When you're thinking, well that's a lot of light, yes it is. There's my normal lights. Right, you're going to die if you drive like that. So you have those. And why do we have those? Not to see the road, to see the moose. Or the deer. The reindeer, that is. So why am I filming this at a ridiculously early o'clock? It's just gone 6 AM and I'm already en route. Well, I might have been keeping a bit of a secret to resolve a huge problem I've got. Anyway, we're on our way south to the nearest biggest city, and this is our journey. Restricted, I think you'll agree. There's my view, my point of view, and that's the blower on the screen going flat out. Does it get worse than that? Yeah, it can do. That little orange button there, that tells you that my screen heater is on. That's the wires in the screen. And the blower is on. And, well, we got a little bit more vision, but not a lot. Is it likely to get colder than that? Yep, it is. Does it look like I'm driving on tarmac? Well, even if it does, I can assure you I'm definitely not. Have I got a trailer in tow? Yes, I have. All quite normal. Everything is normal. So here's a question that I'm going to answer before I get asked. Does Sarah and Casper ride with me when I'm doing this kind? Well, no, you can't. Right, so Casper could, but Sarah definitely can't ride with me because you cannot leave the building when the temperatures are like this. Somebody has to remain in the building to keep the furnace alight. For those of you who don't know, we're fully wood fired and you cannot leave the building to let it go cold. You will lose the building. So it's just as capable of freezing, it's more capable of freezing than most other buildings. It's got no insulation in the walls, it's an old school. And the temperature will drop inside quite quickly and you will lose the building. So when you have to do things like this, you know, we did try once or twice in the early years, but it's not good, it doesn't work very well. So I'm going alone. I haven't brought Casper with me today. I've got some help to pick up en route. A young man's coming with me to help me do some of the heavy lifting. And that there is the end of the street lights. Did you just see a speed camera sign? Yes. Have they installed speed cameras on this road? Yes, they have. Here comes one now. Would you believe you're this far away from anywhere and there are speed cameras? Yes, there are. I thought you might want to share this. That's the midday sun. been a long time since, it seems like it's been a long time since the sun came up. Anyway, we're heading north. So it was very difficult to film what I've been doing. I can tell you I'm so full. Not only you might see some evidence I'm towing a trailer, which is full, the van's full, and I've since filled the cab. So I'm stuffed. I'm stuffed. Anyway, thought you might want to see that, because that is a beautiful sight. So how's my day been? Yeah, perfect, really. No, what I had to go and collect, I had to go to the city and collect something. I will explain all in a moment. What I didn't know is when I agreed to collect said items that have filled the van and the trailer, was they were on a 7th floor of an apartment block. Yeah. Anyway, that's what happens when you go to the city. But now I'm on my way back and it's about midday and the sun's risen above the horizon, and look at what I get to look at. Is my windscreen still frozen? Well, yeah, because it's still minus 22. Comes the view. Look at that. And yes, that is the same river I fish on. That is my river. Well, it's not my river, it's everybody's river, but it's my river. I was unable to film the bit that I really wanted to film. So a little while ago, you'll know it's winter, I'm working inside, I'm doing my kitchen. A while ago I saw an advertisement for an entire kitchen. White goods, the lot, the rocking, everything that was in that kitchen had to go. And I only wanted certain parts of it. But people always ask me, because of all the houses, you know, I need this or I need that or I need the other. So once I'd established what was involved in this kitchen, I made a few phone calls, sent a few emails with a few pictures, and managed to find most of what certain people wanted. And I managed to sell those items to those people to cover the entire cost of buying the complete kitchen. Obviously, that's the idea. So they get cheap, really good white goods, I've got to say. I don't know why they got... Well, he's putting a whole new kitchen in. They bought the place. So I filled the van and I filled the trailer, and then on the way back I've had to do a collection of boxes of free food. This is all out-of-date stuff for the animals. And yeah, I'm full up everywhere. I was going to say crack and crevice. Here we go, here comes the sun. So I'm rabbiting away. Right, check this out. This would be some of the last sun we see. You can see how high it is. And this is midday, this is as high as the sun gets. We'll lose this in a week or so and there'll be no sun at all. So last year we saw the first sun up and we're going to see the last sun down. Look at it, just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And it's like this for months. This isn't a one-off, it isn't a one storm. It's been like this for 3 weeks now. We're just encapsulated, frozen. The roads actually, you can see by the edges, there's not been an awful lot of snowfall, just that first big dump of 3 feet. That's it. So I've pulled over so I can get out and show you now, just in case we lose the light before we get back, because the light goes really quick in the afternoon. I'm also 27 below freezing. I'm also going to attempt to do this without a really big coat. It's my ears and my face. You know, within at this temperature, in less than 60 seconds, my ears start to hurt. In less than 2 minutes, they become really painful. And in less than 3 minutes, I have to be doing something with my ears. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll pull our hood up and we'll put our gloves on and we'll be quite quick. We'll leave everything running. Okay. That's the auxiliary heater's just fired up. So how do we do all this with the Arctic winter? Well, you kind of learn to carry on, really. You see the small exhaust there under there? That's fired up because I've stopped. And even though the van's running, it's starting to cool down really quickly. So that's obviously not my main exhaust, that's the auxiliary heater. Anyway, so there we go. That's the trailer loaded and the van's equally full. Spectacular and cold. So, why is there no breath? Do you know, it's really fascinating. Once it gets to a certain temperature, you don't see it. Anyway, there we go. Quick view, mountains over there, a bridge in the distance. That's the river right there. That's making a good old noise, that is. Right. Ooh. And everything's iced up, so that there, that's ice on the inside. And my heater's going flat out. So we have had this conversation. We had it in the other van. We had to go to town and there was all these wisecrack comments about do this, do that. This van has been running for 7 hours. And I've still got ice on the inside. Right, and you can hear the fan going, the heater's flat out, everything's turned to the max. Okay, we'll carry on our journey and then the plan is, once we get back, to reverse the trailer into the shop first and unload that, take it back out, put it under the cover and then reverse the van and then unload that. So unless something spectacular happens, I won't film any more of the way there and we'll be at the yard. So I've warned you, it might not look much, right? But you'll see, you'll understand. So the most valuable items stay on there because they're the items that are already sold, and a full height fridge and a full height freezer, and they're already going to a customer. So what did I get? Well, a kitchen, really. As it turns out, quite a large kitchen. So where's the money in this? Okay, let me explain. So base units. My original idea was to build all my own base units and my wall units. Sheet material through the roof. So I'm just going to do it in, let's say, thousands. Or should we do it in hundreds? Let's just do it in a figure. Okay. So to buy the sheet material I need for all my base cupboards and all my wall cupboards is going to cost 13. 13 a lot. So you could put a couple of, let's do 13,000 then. Let's put 3. Will cost 13,000 of the currency I'm in, just for the sheep materials. Then it'll take me about a week to make all the carcassing. And then you've got glue and screws and all that on top of it. I've got all the base units I need and all the wall units for free. So we're not into 13,000 anymore, we're free. These are all free. And then on top of that, I've got all the drawers and the drawer fronts for all the units. So let me explain what life is like here. There's a sink, and that is a faucet, and that is a faucet that's never frozen. I can't tell you how valuable that faucet on that sink is. Exceedingly valuable to me. Then there is a carousel there. Well, I'm not quite sure I can incorporate that, but we've got all the base units with the drawers, and then we've got more than enough wall carcassing and microwave. Not sure I like that very much. And then in here, together with all that, we've got all the drawers and then all the doors. So there's all the drawers. Have I shown you that cabinet? Yeah, you've watched me build that. If you haven't, that's coming. So there's all the drawers and there's all the doors. And then I was kind of hoping that this would not be this, because we've got a much nicer one than that. But my Sarah, she dropped a bottle of wine on it a couple of years ago and smashed it to pieces, and now it's all broken, and it's been broken ever since. And then there's this. Now I don't know what those things cost where you are, but here, that's going to cost 13,000. That's going to cost 8,000. So, all in all, with everything I've got, I get to build my kitchen for free, again. And of course I've made all the worktops, and all I have to do is put glue into there. The worktops are over there, by the van, and I've got an entire kitchen. There's a few little gadgets and stuff with it, which I may or may not need or use. And I've got some really tall cupboards, which I don't need at all. So we might yet find a home for those. And then all the shelves, of course. So I've done really well. Oh, and there's one other thing. I know the same person that has bought the fridge freezer desperately needs this. This is the cooker hood. And it's definitely not an old one. Oh, you're over there. Yeah. So I'll put that on the van because that's got to go to a customer. With what I can sell out of what I got, I should get all my money back on the kitchen and the diesel money. So I should end up with everything I need in here for free. Well, no, I will. Not should, I will. And then that's been worthwhile. How's the trip been worthwhile? Well, I did tell you we'd be back after dark. I didn't film the unload in the van because I wanted to get everything out before anything froze. So the trailer's already unloaded, the van's unloaded, and I'll leave this in here because I don't want any of this freezing. So I'm quite pleased with everything we've got. And we've got all the little bits and the legs, you know, it was in a complete kitchen. The worktop, I think I showed you the worktop. The worktops are, you know, just this rubbish. No use to me at all, but we'll find a use for those somewhere. Long day, but a good day. Result. The only thing left to do is get out of pig food. It's like a standing joke. So, my youngest Charlotte, she used to get confused and frown like that. What do you mean you're eating pig food? So we used to get the boxes of out-of-date stuff, the free stuff from the supermarkets for the pigs. But I killed the pigs and we ate the pigs. So now, of course, we get it for the chickens because we kill the chickens and eat the chickens. But basically it's the out-of-date leftover food that we get for the animals. Which is also free. And then there we've got lots of things. Swedes, and it's food. Brussels sprouts, eggplants, apples, grapefruits, oranges, sweet potatoes. This one, you got tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers, apples. Bananas, lettuce, pears, fruit, rotten fruit, tomatoes, this one is from the bakery department, breads, lots of different types of breads, apples, rolls. And then this one, mushrooms, tomatoes, lemons. Is that it? Smells nice in there. Free food. Blueberries, broccoli, bread in that one, rotten bananas in that one, there's oranges, and yeah. And then that gets chopped up and then that goes to the animals and then they get extra goodness. And you can't give them lemons, obviously. Oh, raspberries, they might like raspberries, I might like raspberries. Lots of lemons. Yeah, tomatoes. It's all good stuff. Now, if I'm honest, I don't know how long the battery's going to last. But my final job for the day, now I've done everything else, is to take all this food and go and deliver it. Something that a lot of you don't see. You see what I'm doing during the day, but what happens when I'm not doing that? Well, things like this. So, we need to use Sarah's Christmas present because Sarah don't use it. We need to get that on the snow and the ice. There we go. Now we've got these, we've got old ones, like antiques over there. There's my one, buried in the snow. Actually, you know, that might be Sarah's old one because there was an incident 2 winters ago where mine might have been parked there and the snowmobile might have been, anyway, there might have been a bit of temper involved and it got damaged. Yeah, that's probably the right way of putting it. Oh. That's what happened, bit of temper. What are you doing, Nutty? Hey? Okay. Does it look like we're going to have an accident with all this? Yeah, kind of does. We could lose all of this. Doesn't feel the most stable, I've got to admit. It's all a question of whether we're going to make the corner. Now it's so dark. What are you doing? Any references about Lapland and Santa? Naff Wolf. Can I? Okay. Looks like there'd be less of an accident. What are you doing? It's all a game. Right, so we go find the moose. Well, Sarah, she has asked me if I managed to get a black eye today. I'd like to tell you some elaborate story how he got a lucky shot in. That wouldn't be true. I could tell you another story about how I slipped many times before I finally smashed my face into something. That wouldn't be true either. Must have been soot on my hand after having my hands in the boiler, furnace, fire so often today, and then I must have rubbed my face and given myself a black eye. Anyway, so we're on a long lonely walk to Thomas's. My new subscribers won't have a clue what I'm talking about. My original subscribers, they will. So for those that don't know, Thomas has been a friend pretty much since the first few weeks I lived here, really. And we've done a lot of stuff together. Then he was getting older and he was finding it more trouble, and then 2 years ago he slipped and he hurt himself. And he ain't been right since. Anyway, that combined with his age means he's generally been struggling for some time, and I fixed his tractor and worked his land and cut his firewood and worked in his forest, this kind of stuff. But he's getting worse, and this last week he's been in and out of hospital, in and out of hospital, in and out of hospital. Well, his wife is also my friend. They've called her down to the hospital, and that ain't never good. It just ain't good. Anyway, so the footage you haven't seen yet is I've moved all her poultry inside this year for the first year, and she's got a lot of ducks and chickens. And I did the inside of the bar. Anyway, she got a couple of ducks that were laying eggs this morning, and she couldn't move them into where they need to be. I've got to go and do the check and sort the chickens out. She might be back today, it's unlikely. More likely she'll be back tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm kind of praying he pulls through, although he's quite ill. And not for selfish reasons, but I've already lost 3, well, one of them I didn't know so well, but 2 friends this year. It's been concerning. I've mentioned it occasionally in passing about how many people have died since Christmas. Well, there's been 7 in the village. The inhabitants of this village is very small. Is that 50% of all inhabitants that died? No, it isn't. It might be 25% now of permanent residents in this village. Yeah, there ain't many, and now there's a lot less. Yeah, 7 in less than a year. Anyway, there's no point in putting down in the comments what you think that's down to, because anybody that knows what they know what that's down to. And some of it's down to old age and just that time, and all of it. Look, I mean, this place. You've all seen me work this land year after year after year. So right behind me there, that's where the moose came to get us last winter. In that, you can see between the 2 birch, the thick pine trees where it launched itself out of when we were stuck on the snowshoes. And then the mountain behind me is up where we worked the forest. It's just beautiful here. And not a sound. Anyway, so this old barn, Thomas started to convert about 30 years ago, and it got abandoned. And I've turned it into a poultry shed now, quite a large one. So, in there, that's where all the poultry is. And thankfully it's fox proof, because we've had a lot of problem with foxes. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I've already run the snow trails in. Look at that. Beautiful. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chicken house. All right, girls. You stay there. Alright, so these ducks are in the wrong place, so I've got to move them into the warmer place. I'll put some lights down there somewhere. So everybody else is behind this door. So I think firstly we'll move them into this middle section. Have you laid your eggs? No, you haven't laid your eggs, have you? There's no eggs, is there? Come on then, away you go. That's it, you know where you're going. Good girls. Good girls. There we go. Yeah. What we don't want to do is let everybody out down here. So we'll open the door and they'll go in that way. Oh, come on girls, where you go? You know where you're going, that's it. There you go. Good girls. Good girls. Now what we want to do is, while we're here, what do we want this? So one of the cockerels in here, in fact maybe the only rooster left, I raised from an egg, and it should come straight to me. Let's put some lights on in there. Maybe the lights on. Where did I put the light switch in? Out here? Oh, maybe that's the light switch. Oh, there we go. Put the lights on. There we go. Look at all that. That's the ducks all greeting each other, talking to each other. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. There's Mummy with her young. She stays under the heat lamp there. It's amazingly warm in here, considering. Right, well, we don't want to disturb them too much. Quite clearly, they're quite disturbed by my presence. That didn't help. He's found it now. Look at all the hens following him around. Such a big flock he has now. And then I built these. These are all the nesting boxes. Ducks in the bottom, chickens all the way up. They've all got good water. Just check that that's still. Oh yeah, that's all still liquid. Yep. Okay, everything is good. Yeah, I have a heater in there. I built a cage around the heater. Little ones go underneath there, and they're all feeling much more active now. All right, good job. Turn the light off, Simon, on the way out. So the feed is kept here. Peggy's put up all curtains everywhere, and she's tried to insulate it as much as she can. I actually put plastic up everywhere except in here, so we're kind of open because she didn't think she was going to use this, but the ducks like to be in here. Anyway, that's us done. Make sure we haven't lost the dog. He should be right outside waiting for me. Turn the lights off on the way. There's no animals strayed about anywhere. She's got that on a timer, so that's all right. Ah, job's a good one. Right, where's my dog? There he is, look at that. He is the most loyal. Good boy, good boy, good boy. All right, that's that. But the snow's not too deep. I saw Anchorage, you know, had their largest or deepest snowfall on record for early November. 3 feet, we had about the same. Maybe 3 feet as low as Anchorage is abnormal. Maybe. There's one of our trails going back into there. He's just happy to be out. As he's getting older, it's like with everything. You wouldn't think he's old. He's playing like a puppy. But he's more aware of the cold. And whilst he finds sitting on his chair or playing inside with the ball a lot more boring than the activities we're used to, he also doesn't like to be out in this cold for any longer than he has to be. And he's chasing a bit of ice that he's bitten. He ain't got a ball. I don't bring a ball out because he loses it too quickly, and we can go through a lot of balls during the winter. And do we find them all in the spring, in the summer? Yeah, in the summer, perhaps. We find quite a few. There's a lot of things get lost in the snow and broken, as you can imagine. Do you know, there's been, just this last few days, when it's been really cold, there's quite a distinct lack of new prints. The Arctic hare's about, and I've seen the cat, or the cat prints. I don't see nothing big. There's been no reindeer here, and no moose tracks near the village. I've seen them out in the forest when I was running the trails, but no moose, and obviously the bears are all long since asleep, so we won't have to worry about any more of those this year, although we could do without the aggressive moose, really. They should have been done with that by now. playtime. Starting to get very cold on my face now. So if I've rolled this from start to finish, we're back. How long's that? I don't know, about 11 minutes. And I haven't got a woolly out on top of my head. My head's really cold already. So we have to be below 20, below freezing. The little cloud cover's starting to come in. That's what's bringing the snow. So it will warm up a little bit, maybe to 10 or 12 below, which is, you know, operationally okay. That is the hardest one.